Hey everyone, this is Paul. Today we have our special guests with us, uh, Velrie, Jennings, and Jonah. They are the founders of the Online Business Gurus. So Velrie and Jonah, I would like to welcome you to my video, and this is really great to have both of you. So I would like to thank you for your time. So if you can just tell me something about your company, or the Online Business Gurus, and yourself a bit to my viewers.
Having us. We appreciate it. Basically, the Online Business Gurus offers high-end done-for-you services in the marketing industry. So we do the social media, the sales funnels, the strategy, the planning, and go so far as implementing all those strategies and plannings and system automatizations for the clients.
Oh, that's great. That's really amazing. And these days, something like online marketing is, or you can say digital marketing is the area where we are actually. Uh, it's a need of an hour for us for everyone. So there'll be a lot of learning from you. So let me tell you something about my company. My company is Xfinity Solution. Xfinity Solution is basically an IT and ITES service provider, and we are also working on a virtual assistant space. We do provide virtual assistants to different business owners in US as well as in Canada. So we have been operational for about last 3 years, and we have about a good number of clients. And now let me tell you the objective of this survey. So we have been interviewing business owners and professionals across industries to understand how they, through their leadership skill, are combating this situation, and what is their future prediction of the economy, and what are the strategies which the business houses and government should implement to recover from this economic downturn. So this survey report will be circulated among all the interviewees and will be published in our annual report. And we got stupendous response from several brands and corporates, and I'm looking forward to learn lot more from you as well. So let me start with the survey. So if you're ready. Okay. So my first question would be, have you ever faced any such time as this before?
Actually, no, I think it's a different time for businesses and the whole world as a whole to begin with. Obviously, I mean, there's been different epidemics and different things throughout the years, but none on this scale, and none that has created this much of a need for a different way of looking at how you do business, and a different way of looking at how you are going to proceed to do business for a very long time to come. So I think it's going to be a slight learning curve for everybody to decide how they're going to move forward, not only in just their business, but in their life as a whole.
Yeah, that's really insightful. So can you compare this situation with any other situation which is close to this, and what was your strategy that time? How did you combat with that situation? Anything close to that?
I think the closest that we have personally seen in our industry is probably right after 9/11. You had that quiet down. Everybody wasn't sure. Money stopped. People wanted to gather, regroup, get their confidence back up again before they actually decided to tackle and go into the workforce and spend advertising and start looking for VAs or start looking for help or consultants and stuff. So I think that would probably be the closest as far as the U.S. And I would dare say the world actually started to look also to see how the U.S. was going to react first, because of course we've got such a huge impact on the market world.
Exactly.
That I think that really did it. And of course, when those markets crashed, then we had the same thing happen again. I think that's just, I mean, you go through any of the histories of the world and we have these ebbs and flows, and there's always some point that drops us all back down, and then we all come back up. And I think that's good. It allows, not only is it a personal thing, because it allows you to build yourself up for a challenge and allow you to think outside of boxes and keep you sharp, but it's also good for businesses, because those itty bitty businesses that never had a chance in the world are now making money. I mean, you've
Yeah,
got industries now and inventions that you didn't
actually,
think of or wasn't important, in March, and now all of a sudden they're making tons of money. So it
exactly.
does, I mean, it does help for the economy.
All right, all right. That's really insightful and that's really educative. So my next question would be, that's kind of an obvious question. Is your business seriously affected by this pandemic?
It has been in the aspect of right now, we were working a lot with coaches. And when all of this took place, a lot of coaches took a their social media marketing needs, and they've kind of taken a little bit of a reflective look to see where their money and their energies are going to be both best spent. So in that aspect, I would have to say, yeah, the business has taken a little bit of a turn. And with that, we decided to take a business turn at the same time and are now working with people who have traditional brick and mortar businesses like dentists and chiropractors and pet groomers and things like that, and going to try to help those people branch out into getting an online presence and building an online store or online appointment settings so that they can still stay within the COVID regulations and run their business successfully at the same time.
Of course, of course. So that way it has actually affected. So okay. So my next question would be, I mean, obviously everybody is seeing challenges in future. So do you see challenges in future from your business perspective, and are you prepared for that, and how are you preparing for that?
I think there's always challenges.
Yeah.
Any business owner who's smart always plans on the what ifs of the world. Um, it's the question of how long.
Yeah,
I
that's
think a
the
lot
question.
of business owners, had a small stash put aside, but they weren't expecting it, the stash to have to run out or make 8 months, 9 months, 1 year, or however long this is going to last. So I think that's where a lot of the business owners now are going to have to change. We do prepare for stuff, but like everybody else, we didn't, prepare for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. The advantage we have is our work is online. So most of our stuff in that sense didn't get affected. We still are taking appointments. We're still helping clients. We're still moving them, forward. So a lot of our stuff wasn't affected in that sense. But we do plan still. I mean, we have UPSs in case there's a power failure. We have 3 or 4 different on-site or off-site in the cloud storages. So our
Okay.
stuff is redundantly backed up. If a computer goes down, we have actually a backup computer that, since the drives are mirrored, we can quickly mirror a drive and be back up and running. We have, redundancies of each other's work. We know each other's work and everything else. Like one time I was in the hospital for an emergency surgery, was out for a week, and our clients never even knew I was out because the work was still being done because we had set up those type of redundancies. So I think that's important. And I think a lot of people forget that if you're working online, those software systems have to be secured. You have to maintain the security. You have to back up the data. Yeah, and you have to get the stuff up in the cloud. And I think that's where a lot of people are falling flat nowadays.
Okay, great. So that's a really great learning for my viewers, like how you can prepare, and these are the strategies that you can implement for that. So that's great. So my next question, I'm moving to the next question. It's not a question, rather it's more like a statement. I want to understand your view on that. So industries, it says that industries related to or connected to IT domain operation, directly or indirectly, have managed to sustain this pandemic. Do you agree on that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
So
because I think the IT industry world is always prepared. I mean, they have the specialists that are always planning on, the hackers and this and that. So I think that it's just inherently developed in their nature to always plan and always look for where their weaknesses are, better than most corporations do or most industries.
absolutely. Great. So now I'm going to move to my next question. It is more like a macro level question. So, and we need to talk a lot about that. So how do you see the economy in the near future? Economy means the economy of the whole world, as well as particularly economy of the United States. And how do you think that the big business houses or the government, what are the strategies they should implement to recover from the downturn?
I think economically, the whole world is going to be affected by this, and people are going to have to take a step back and decide how they're going to move forward. Are they going to continue to go into the office, or is their business even going to be able to survive after all of this is said and done? And everybody's going to have to reevaluate their economic situation and where they are in their life and make changes to better be able to fit into what the world's going to be when this is all said and done. As far as big business, you're always going to have those big businesses that it doesn't matter what happens to the world, they're going to succeed. However, I do have to applaud some of the bigger name businesses and the fact that they have taken this very seriously. If you look at like Google and Twitter and Amazon, they have really put a lot of thought in not only to maintaining their business and the best interest of their employees, but also to be COVID friendly and follow the regulations. Google and Twitter have both said that they may very well decide to keep their workforce at home from working because it has worked out very well for them.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to have to depend on what that big business does, and if that big business can shift some of its workforce to being a more online virtual work from home type environment. So I think it'll be interesting to see how that affects the economy and all the way from big business to the small business owners like you and I. You're going to have to take a step back, look at where you are, look at where you can be, and look what steps that's going to take for you to get there. And I think that happens, doesn't matter if you're a multi-billion-dollar company or a company of one person that works from home.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great view. And I would say that. And what do you think? Then by what time the economy you're expecting the economy to become normal or stable? To be very,
I'm not sure that we're ever going to. I think there's going to be a new normal. I think what everybody had gotten used to in the world as the economy being a stable, normal economy is not going to be the same anymore when this is all said and done. And I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. I think it's going to be a slow learning process, not just for the United States, but for the world in a whole, as to figure out what the new normal and what the new stable for the economy is going to be. I do see it becoming a regulated new normal, but it's going to definitely be a new normal.
Regulated new normal. That's right. That's really important. So fine. So now my next question, or not rather question, I would just like to ask you, both of you, to tell something about your business and what are the areas you're actually helping your clients during this testing time, so that my viewers can learn more about your business, and if they need any sort of a help from your side, they can reach out to you.
Sure, of course, I'd be glad to. Basically, what we do is we could do a couple of things. Some of the companies that are new, that don't know anything about the online world, we actually will sit down with them, go over their business, go over their goals, go over their plans, and walk them through a strategic plan in place, along with what systems they're going to need to get them into the online world safely and securely and quickly. Then we go through and actually implement those plans. So we get those software systems that they need. We set up those systems for them. We train the people how to use them. And if they want to continue, we continue to maintain those systems. We do the same thing with the marketing. So if they don't know how to market to the online world, they don't know a lot about email marketing or social media marketing, we actually will sit down with them and go through an entire strategic plan with them, go through their goals, their ideas, do a 30-day, a 60-day, and a 90-day plan for them, and then implement those plans for them, or instruct their team or their staff on how to implement those ideas. And that's what we specialize in.
Oh, that's great.
So we're completely bilingual. So we do everything in English and in Spanish. So we
Spanish as well.
market completely to the world. Yeah, we market everywhere.
So if I ask you to tell our viewers about one uniqueness which your company is having, so what is that?
Our uniqueness, actually, we have two very unique selling points. Valerie and I not only are the owners of the business, but we actually keep the work in house. We do not take the client, get them onboarded, and then send their work to somebody else. We actually physically do the work ourselves, and this actually helps in the taking of the client's idea and turning it into an actual product or sales funnel. So that makes us unique. The other uniqueness is we do guarantee our work, which a lot of people in VA or marketing do not. We do guarantee our work. If the client is not happy with the work, we sit down and have a conversation and try to fix it. If they're still unhappy with it, then we do offer a guarantee for our work. So that makes us a little bit more unique in that. I think in our 11 years, we've only had one person that wasn't completely happy with the work, and they weren't completely unhappy. So that makes us a little more unique because we like to talk to the client, be personal with the client. We build that like, no, trust factor with our clients. And so we keep our clientele small so that they get that VIP service that they're looking for.
So that's great. So it means like if someone is actually become your client, so you actually take care of them personally. That is very important. So you're always reachable. If they want to reach out to you, they can always reach out to you. And if they're having any sort of issue, they can directly get in touch with you. So it's like, there's a personal touch in it. That's great. So my viewers, I would like to ask you if you are really interested to take any of the services which Velrie and Jonah is talking about, then you can always reach out to them. I'm going to share their contacts with this video, so you can always reach out to them. So my last question, or it's like more like a statement again. So okay. I just want to understand your view on that. So a study says, study means we have done studies, we have done this study, and my research team has done this study actually. So a study says that keeping a remote executive assistant, or you can say virtual assistant, during this testing time can save your time and money and can help you grow your business faster than ever. It is like hiring a back-end team at a price of a single employee. Say for example, you being a owner of this company or a founder of this company, you will take care of the frontline work like getting clients, doing your marketing, and dealing with the clients. But at the back end, you need some sort of a daily sort of a work which needs to be taken care by someone. So during this time where everything is virtual, so if you're keeping someone which is virtual, can actually help you save a lot of time and money. So what's your take on that?
I think what is important is you need to ask yourself, what is your expertise? If your expertise is not in the tech world or in the software world, or you're out of your realm, then you need to sit back and say, how long is it going to take me to learn it? Some things may be only a 20-minute review on a YouTube video, so it's not necessarily important to hire somebody. But if you're looking at 10 hours, 20 hours, that's 10 or 20 hours that you're not making money. You're not billing somebody else. So then it comes down to, it is economically more sane to hire somebody else to take over that than it is for you to go through and relearn it. And if you don't like the job, that's another great idea at that point in time. Life is too short to do something you don't enjoy. So if you don't enjoy doing it, it's probably cheaper, faster, and easier just to hire that stuff out as well and let somebody who enjoys that type of work do it. I personally can't stand accounting. I know it. I've been to school for it, but it's just not my favorite thing. So I outsource that and I follow the books and go through it for the checks. But I just don't enjoy doing the QuickBooks and doing that part of the work. So it just makes more sense for me to hire that out. And I think that's what the business owners are going to have to start looking at is it more advantageous and more economical for them to hire? And if it is, there's plenty of resources to get good people right now, and they're plentiful. So I think now is a good time. If you ever wanted to do remote or contract out, now is the time to do it.
That's great. So that's a great learning. And I would say that as I've already talked about it, Xfinity Solution is a VA service provider. We are also, we do provide virtual assistant service, end-to-end virtual assistant service, starting from entry level, any entry level sort of a work, so say data entry and all, and getting into this, accounting and bookkeeping and starting the whole project management. So we do that. So that's great. And it was really nice talking to you, both of you. And thank you for your time. And this was really insightful and educative. Your views will definitely going to add a lot of values to our survey. We are going to continue this survey for another couple of maybe for a month or so. Once that is done, so we will be sharing the report with you, and where you can get to see what other business owners are thinking about the same questions which are being asked by us. And you can understand this is the time when we should grow together. So that's the only motive of this survey. So that was really nice talking to you, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.
You
Thank
too.
you
It
for
was
having
nice
us.
to talk to you.